Hi English students, this is Miss Newman, and for this first video I want us to take a look at the research paper topic sheet, and I'm going to specify some of the assignment for you and hopefully address any confusion you may have about what it means to write a research paper, because for English 101 you have to write a research paper, but depending on when you took English 101, it might have been a little while since you've written a research paper, or maybe you took a different instructor and had different styles of teaching, but I just want to help clarify what it means to write a research paper for this English 102 class. For this research paper, I would like you to utilize outside sources, so that's articles, books, documentaries, etc. I'm not too worried about the type of source you use as long as it's an academic reputable source. So just make sure you don't use Wikipedia or a blog or anything that is non-academic, non-reliable, has not been fact-checked, in other words. So you're using these outside sources to learn about an influential person and how he or she has influenced today's society, whether for the better or for the worse. So depending on the individual you choose, you would have to focus on how he or she changed the world for the better or for the worse. I'm trying to emphasize essentially the power of one person and how one person can change the world is hopefully the goal of this assignment. So while you may choose the person, please ask my permission for your topic before beginning your research. This week's assignment, this very first week assignment, is going to be to turn in a topic proposal and outline in discussions. It's the discussion thread at the very top, and there's more specific instructions on what a topic proposal looks like, but essentially you're going to propose which individual you want to research, so that way I can review and make sure that they're all good topics. I'm going to give feedback on that discussion board post as well, so just make sure you check back in periodically to benefit from my comments. So just make sure you propose that topic proposal. Also, you may not repeat a topic that you have written about in the past, so that could be during English 101 or high school classes. And I'll explain the reason why you cannot repeat the topic is because the plagiarism scanner that we use does not specify that it was your previous paper. So say if you turn in the same paper you turned in for English 101, on my end it just highlights it and says this paper is 100% plagiarized. Same thing goes for your high school papers. If your instructors turned them into a plagiarism checker, then it's going to come up as plagiarized. Also, it's just the idea that you need to also work just as hard as your classmates on this paper instead of just submitting one you've already used. So just make sure that this is an original paper that you're writing for this class only. The essay is due Monday, July 11th by midnight, and you'll turn that into the week 3 content folder. It'll be worth a daily grade and an attendance grade. I know that's a very fast turnaround, but since this is a mini term class in the summer, you're essentially having to write all of the essays within the shortest period of time possible, because the summer semester is already only 10 weeks, so a mini term semester is only 5 weeks. So unfortunately we will not get much time to cover each paper, but I'll be here to guide you through this process, of course, and I do recommend working with the Writing Center tutors as well. I'm going to email you guys the link to make an appointment for Writing Center appointments, whether that's in person or online, because they can assist you in every step of the writing process and spend extra time with you guiding you through this. So of course I'm here to answer questions and guide you through the assignment, but Writing Center tutors are a very good resource to utilize, especially for a class that's going so fast-paced. The research paper is worth 40% of your final grade, 100 points possible. The research paper should be at least 700 words in length, and that does count the works cited page in any of your in-text citations. So it's not a very long research paper, but it is one that will have to be at least 700 words. I will count off if it's under 700 words. If it's over, that's fine. I don't count off for going over, but you must meet at least 700 words. The formatting is 12-point Times New Roman font, double space with MLA heading and style. This should be the exact same formatting you've done for English 101, but I'm just going to remind you in the Siegel textbook, which is one of the textbooks for the 102 class, page 192 has a really good example to use for formatting. So I definitely recommend using page 192 in the Siegel textbook to guide you through, because it has the heading, where the title should be, the page number location, everything. Essentially, it's an example of what I expect for your MLA formatted papers, and all of them are going to need to be in MLA formatting. So You'll have to do the MLA heading and style. You must have a works cited page. And what I mean by a works cited page, it is not a list of website links that you've just copied and pasted. You have to have complete citations for every outside source used. So page 199 in your textbook has the best example for a finished works cited page. Of course, there's more citations on here than what you need for this assignment. You only have to have 3 outside sources for this one. But this is a great example of what citation should look like. It should have the author, it should have the title, if there's a publisher, if there's a year listed on when it was published, if it's a website, include the website link. So definitely a lot more information than just the website link. And if you only include a website link, you will be penalized on your grade. So just make sure that you do the complete citations. If you're not sure how to cite a source, please let me know. I'm happy to cite it for you, essentially. If you send me a website link, I will pretty much do the citation or check that it's authentic and a good academic source. So if you're not sure how to cite something, please let me know instead of just winging it and turning in links to the website as your citations, because I'd much rather you ask me several questions than to turn in an unfinished works cited page, or to not turn in a works cited page. Completely negating a works cited page for the research paper will have a very interesting or horrible impact on your grade, because you have to have a works cited page to give credit to those sources that you use their information. So just make sure you have a works cited page. You must include at least 3 outside sources. So that's 3 academic sources. That could be a website, a book, an article. It could be a documentary you found online about the person, and a book, an article. You get the point, but essentially you need to have at least 3 outside sources. If you go over, that's great, but 3 is the minimum for this assignment. There is a final draft late submission rule. So essentially, if you turn in the paper a day late, it's 10 points off. All of your final drafts are going to be graded using the English 102 grading rubric that's listed on the Getting Started page, and it's the same grading rubric I use for every single essay for the class, and it'll be scanned with anti-plagiarism software. So please make sure that you use your own original ideas, your own original paper, and if you do quote from a source or paraphrase or reword information, make sure you include those in-text citations. So this should be a refresher from English 101, but just as a reminder of what an in-text citation is, that's the parentheses at the end of the sentence that gives credit to the specific source. So of course your works cited page lists all of the sources, but page 154 has an example of what it would look like if you're quoting from a book. Example 2 is a quote from a book, and it has the author's last name and the page number at the end. Of course, for a website, you won't have a page number, so you would just list the author's last name. Or if the author is unknown, some of our websites that are actually reputable websites do not include the author. So page 156, number 7, has an example of what that would be like. You list the title instead of an author's last name. So it really just depends on the source on what the in-text citation will look like. But anytime you include information in your paper that you didn't know before you read the source, you need to have an in-text citation at the end of that sentence, whether it's quoted or paraphrased or reworded into your own words. You have to have an in-text citation. So I've got brainstorming and outlining space at the bottom of the page, but that's not required. I've just noticed that students like to take notes on their topic sheet pretty often, so I included a space for you to do that. But if you have any questions whatsoever, please let me know. I understand that the research paper is one of the more daunting assignments of any course, and so I'm always here to help you. Also, don't forget to check out the Writing Center. They have fantastic tutors that can guide you through how to write a research paper. So, hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks. Bye.